Hello everyone! Thank you for visiting our channel. Have you ever experienced such life stories? Andrew was 35 years old. Ever since he moved out of the dormitory, after graduating from university, he had always lived alone. In those days, you could say he was quite a nerd, as he spent most of his time with books and studying. He had never been in a serious relationship, while everyone around him was dating and breaking up multiple times a week. Andrew was very attentive and always excelled academically. By his second year, he started working at a company. After finishing his studies, his career became his main goal. He wanted to become a recognized expert in his field. His career was rapidly progressing. The man received well-deserved recognition, along with a consistently high income. He bought himself a nice apartment and a car, but his lifestyle remained modest and simple. Around the same time, Emily entered Andrew's life. She was tall and slender, a true model. His friends believed that she was probably attracted to his expensive car and apartment. How else could they explain her sudden interest in a man who was almost 15 years older than her? But Andrew didn't believe his friends' words. His thoughts were completely occupied by this young beauty who chose him. It's worth noting that he had never received such attention from women, so this stroke of luck was remarkable. He surrounded her with care and literally worshipped the ground she walked on, fulfilling her every wish. For the first time in his life, he began to feel jealousy. He was jealous of her towards everyone and everything, afraid that someone would covet this pearl of his, as there were many competing men around. And one day, he told his friends that he was finally going to get married. Everyone was shocked. They had already met Emily and immediately voiced their opinions about her. His friends cautiously tried to dissuade Andrew from marrying her, but he remained steadfast. He was afraid of losing her and saw marriage as the solution to all problems. The couple had a luxurious wedding, just as Emily wanted, and then flew off to the islands. When they returned, Andrew continued to work even harder. Now he was responsible not only for himself, but also for his young wife, and he wanted to provide her with everything she desired. She no longer worked and transferred to distance learning. In general, she enjoyed a carefree life. Andrew gave her his credit card. She often went shopping and visited beauty salons. Andrew bought her a membership at a trendy gym. After all, such beauty required support. One day, Andrew was reviewing his credit card statements and noticed that his wife frequently visited a certain pastry shop. At first, she would go there once a week, then 3 times, and eventually started going there every day around the same time. It seemed strange to him, because his wife always watched her figure and limited her consumption of sweets. She even tried to wean him off sweets. Yet here she was actively stocking up at the pastry shop. During his midday break, Andrew decided to visit the establishment. From the transaction records, he learned that she usually came here at this time, and he was not mistaken. Soon, Emily entered the pastry shop. It wasn't crowded inside. She approached the young cashier and started talking to him, as if they had known each other for a long time. Jealousy flared up in Andrew, and he also stepped inside. "Hey, sweetheart," came to grab a snack. Andrew said with surprise as he hugged her. The young man behind the counter stopped smiling, fell silent, and resumed serving customers. "Let's get something to go and take a walk." "I have a half-hour break," Andrew suggested to Emily. She reluctantly agreed, and Andrew hurriedly led her out of there. He asked if she often came here, to which his wife replied that it was her first visit. She easily lied, looking him straight in the eyes. She had probably grown accustomed to his trust and had no idea that her lie would raise doubts about her loyalty. Now, Andrew was determined to uncover the whole truth and catch her red-handed. Jealousy compelled him to intervene now, but he wouldn't make this mistake again next time. A few days later, he returned to the same place, but this time he chose to observe from a distance. Emily appeared again during the same cashier's shift. His lunch break was about to start. Andrew witnessed his wife flirting with the cashier. "What a scoundrel!" he thought and cursed under his breath. And then something happened. The young man closed the door from the inside, and together with Emily, they went deeper into the premises. Andrew couldn't believe such audacity from Emily. He immediately recalled all those conversations where his friends tried to dissuade him from marrying her, explicitly telling him that her love was solely motivated by money. Apparently, he would never have agreed with that until he saw it with his own eyes. Now he understood everything and decided not to support this ungrateful cheater anymore. It was time to clip her wings and show her that life wasn't as beautiful as she thought. 20 minutes later, he sent her a text message suggesting they go shopping and treat themselves. He reminded her of the expensive dress in the local boutique that she once noticed but didn't have time to try on. There was enough money on his card, so he wrote, "Go ahead, there's enough money on the card." After a while, Emily left the pastry shop, not forgetting to kiss her lover goodbye, and happily headed to the store. She carefully selected numerous items and, holding a huge stack of purchases, confidently made her way to the cash register. The store employee scanned all the items, and Emily took out her husband's precious card. However, the card didn't work the first, second, or third time. The cashier informed her that there weren't enough funds on the card. Emily didn't want to believe it and blamed it on technical errors. Other customers started getting impatient with her. In a panic, the wife started calling her husband. He only picked up the phone on the fifth attempt, which infuriated Emily. "What happened? You didn't choose anything, did you?" he sarcastically asked. "Are you mocking me? Transfer the money right now," she growled into the phone. "Oh well, call your lover from the pastry shop. Let him pay. By the way, congratulations. You're now homeless because of your affair. Did you think I wouldn't find out?" the man said. Emily became even more furious. She started threatening him, saying she would take half of everything he had, and he'd better think about what he was saying. But the man just laughed because all his assets were acquired before the marriage, and she had nothing to take. The foolish wife apparently didn't know that. Then, the man canceled all the subscriptions he had purchased for her, so she would take care of her own beauty, since she had decided to share that beauty with other men. Andrew filed for divorce without hesitation. In a split second, Emily tried to change her tactics and started speaking more affectionately to her husband, but it was too late. She had already shown her true colors. Before marriage, she lived with friends, but now they had all dispersed, and she was left alone. Without a job or sponsors, she couldn't afford to rent an apartment, so she returned to her parents until she found her next victim. Of course, Andrew was unpleasantly aware of his mistake in choosing his first wife. But now he approached girls who showed an increased interest in him and his income with great caution. That's the story of life. The lesson from this story is simple. Make sure your wives don't visit the pastry shop too often. Share your thoughts in the comments about the situation and the behavior of the spouses, and what you would have done in the husband's place. And thank you for listening to the story until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and be sure to like this video so that more people can learn about the channel. All the best.